are you in Guyana?
Why is that about, let's say, post a picture from Spain?
It's all come style. Okay.
How was it? See where it is by the Minister of Public Works. Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the media, and a very good afternoon to my Guyanese brothers and sisters, to those who are listening to us live. I'm at the site of the crossing of the new Demerara Harbour Bridge over what is known as the Eastbound Highway, and I have just been briefed by my engineer responsible for the project, the Ministry of Public Works, the consultants, Polytechnical, as well as the contractors that are executing this project. I want to thank the Guyanese people for their patience. We had to make a significant interruption to get this piece of work done. We did ask that you bear with us until the early hours of the 7th of April. Well, the first good news that I want to give you is that we'll be able to give you back this thoroughfare at midnight tonight. So we are ahead of schedule. We're going to give you back this thoroughfare at midnight tonight. So persons coming from the airport, persons going to the airport, persons reversing, living in this carriageway, should take note that the Eastbound Highway from the Harbour Bridge back to Red Road, as we should call it, will be fully reopened to traffic. That is because of the hard work and the dedication and the coordination of the entire team. We knew that an interruption of this carriageway would cause great inconvenience, and a lot of planning was put into it. And the execution was seamless, without incident, and we're very, very happy about that. So, you might want to call this a milestone event, even though it's not in the project as a milestone event, because this had to be done. And if you could recall, this entire section caused some amount of delay to this project because we have to get the removal of the houses and the people who were living there. And any Guyanese who is objective and fair-minded would recognize that since we were able to get those houses demolished, significant amount of work in record time has been done in this corridor to keep things moving. So while they are continuing to install the girders and do this casting, those towers, I'm advised they receive circular, they call them channels or forms. Sliding forms. Yes. Sliding forms. They have to go up one more level and cast, and that will be the complete height of the towers. They've already started to install the cable for the section of the bridge that have to be cast in situ. Now what does that mean? These corners are made in two factories at both ends of the bridge, and they have to be transported from the factories to this mechanism, which is quite a new thing here, and placed. But when they put the cable stay on the section, which is the high section where the ships have to cast underneath, they have to put the cables in and cast that section. When they're finished casting that section, they have to give it a certain amount of time to cure, and then they'll be able to advance to another section. So I'm advised that on the western side, we have 4 cables out of 17 in, and on the eastern side, we have 3 cables out of 17 in. So we're advancing forward. And for those of us who are wondering if the bridge is going to be finished by the deadline, that's what we are working towards. All things go well. We have worked with the Chinese contractor and the consultants to increase their teams. And what do I mean? If the contractor is working, the consultant also needs to have more resources on ground to supervise and ensure that everything is in order. So we have to increase the size of the consultant's team, and we have to increase the size of the workers. And the management of the whole project is going. And I think this is a transformational project that all Guyanese are anticipating. People just can't wait. But we have to do it right. We have to make it safe. And we have to ensure that we're getting value for money. And we're doing that every single day. So on this occasion, I'm not out here to ask for your patience for delays. I'm here to tell you, you're getting it back earlier than anticipated. Thanks to the entire team, the contractors, the consultants, and my today from the Ministry of Public Works, and all the teams that are working at work to get this done. We were very concerned about getting this. We know it had to be done, how it's going to be done, how fast it's going to be done. But here it is Sunday afternoon. It's already in place since yesterday. And the only things that they're doing right now is casting taking off the formwork. If casting it at 6 hours to 8 hours, I'm already completed. They're taking off the formwork, and they're taking up the carriageway, make sure they can give the country and the people of Guyana this carriageway. The questions and the technical people can help me with any of the things that I need.
And I see so you're working towards the new deadline. Are you on target for the new deadline?
We are on target for the new deadline, and that's why we've added additional staff. There are more than 100 plus people that have been added to what was working. And you got to put fairness where it belongs. The contractors have been working round the clock, Sunday to Sunday. So I can't come here and make noise about why you're lazy, why you're not working, why things are not moving. They are literally working around the clock, Sunday to Sunday. And like I said, with the consultants, they have to expand their team to make sure that they're able to supervise around the clock as well. So we're moving towards it.
And will these 4 lanes comfortably hold vehicles, or it will be a close fit?
This is going to be a comfortable
4 lanes.
4 lanes. A lane is 3.6 meters. Let's go ahead. only curing is the main bridge, which links the two towers. We have to put in the cables, gas, wait for curing and continuing. And that is what is taking us to August. Because you just can't move faster. Even if you put in, you have to wait until the curing time and then you advance it. It is in those calculations that we have gone to that deadline.
You know, we are having a lot of big trucks these days fetching pipes and other types of cargo. What's the maximum weight at any given time this bridge can take, given those types of cargo trucks?
The actual standard limits to the bridge to about 36 tons, or actually 36 tons gross weight. Maximum load will be about 12 tons per diesel. So in the event where we have a crossing that is gross weight greater than 36 tons, we will have to do a special crossing. We'll have to manage something. So for example, 100 tons per crossing, we'll have to
I want a special crossing.
Sandro, I know we're talking about this new crossing, but any decision on what you'll be using the old bridge for? You floated some ideas again at the conference, for example. Any decision on that?
Well, I can tell you that what we said then is still what we are looking at. The gentleman to my right, which is the head of my transport planning unit in the Ministry of Public Works, followed the instruction that I gave him from the cabinet, and he's already gone to Kokwani to examine the possibilities of sections of that bridge to cross the Berbice River at Kokwani. He has brought in his report. I wouldn't want to discuss that report this afternoon right now because we want to make sure we have everything in place before we can publish that report. But he has brought in his report, and we're looking at that. The President is very keen about accelerating development in Guyana, and I guess it would be a call at the level of the executive at that time to determine what is priority 1, what is priority 2, and the rest of it. And there are lots of possibilities. There are lots of possibilities. One conversation was about putting a crossing at the Kurukari. This floating bridge will not be the ideal setting because of the rocks and the rest of it in the way. So this would not be an ideal setting because that was one of the conversations we had. We looked at that. The rocks would not allow for a bridge of that nature. We'll have to actually do a bridge similar to like this or one like this. Well, not like this. One that is a bit more, which is a causeway, and I think that's 700 meters across from abutment to abutment. So we have to look at that. But there are many places that we could go. We're still looking at it. Connecting Leg 1 and Guyana is a possibility. Crossing the Kanchi Creek. We'll be doing the farm to market road at number 58 and 52 is still a possibility. So, but no final decisions have been made except positively proceeding with something that can happen at Kokwani at this time in the first instance.
And any decision on what will be done with the bridge staff?
I think I addressed this matter in the National Assembly, and I think last week when I was, not yesterday, Sunday, New Week, last week when I was in Linden, some persons were also concerned with the removal of tolls. Listen, we need people to work in Guyana. There is no shortage of getting people into positions. They might not be working at the location where they were working, but we need people to work. And I've said in the parliament, nobody will be thrown to the curb. We got mechanical engineers, we got other engineers who run the whole bridge who have served for welders who have served for many, many years. Yet those skills will be mopped up like that from the moment that is ready. So the ordinary people, the administrative staff, the HR staff, we have a white public service. They will not be thrown to the curb. The unions have already been told that. The people have already been told that. So there is no fuss, there is no scandal at their point in time. We are creating jobs, not taking away jobs. The PPPC government is about creating jobs, not taking away jobs. And by the way, just the fact that we're going to have this bridge in place, do you know how many jobs will be created? Make a guess. This bridge is going to be connected. It's some connector roads which have already been awarded. So that we can get, when you come off the bridge, you got to connect to go in the various directions. But ultimately, this will be connected with the Schooner Road. We are already out to tender for the bridges, so we can actually go to the surface. Once that road, Schooner to Perico, is open, we're building out a new port facility at Perico. It's in the papers now for tender, not just a stelling, but a port facility. Once that road is connected, new lands will be open, housing developments, people who are choked in Georgetown for space for manufacturing and factories and everything will migrate. Because you could get to home and get back in 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on how you're going. So this bridge is not going to bring loss of jobs. It's going to be a single investment that will lead to the creation of many, many jobs because it is linked to so many things.
What for the bridge stop? Will there be a break in service?
No, we're not anticipating a break in service. Of course, people will have options if they want to remain or they want to go off. Because, you know, there are laws. People will have their services separated. You have to pay them the necessary benefits, or they could continue without a break of service at a similar position, at a similar pay, in some other agency or in some other location. So those are things that will be handled by the Public Service Ministry and the unions and the agencies and the Ministry of Public Works at that right time, basically. Just in the special projects unit, we've had to hire hundreds of people to get some of the things we're doing. The works that we're doing on roads, we've had to hire people as clerical works, we've had to hire drivers, we've had to... Some of those same people will go into an expansion of what is taking place in the ministry. So there's a lot that you're going to see.
So what about the road leading off of the bridge on the eastern end? Can you give us an update on these roads?
The project requires that with this bridge, the contractor has to build 50 meters, which I think is almost completed. Save for the surface. And from that 50 meters, there will be several contractors that are working on connecting to that kind of different places, including connecting you to the new highway that is being built from Edghill to Edghill at this time. We want to get on to Providence and to continue.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Good afternoon.